Hi there. Today, I want to talk about the topic of second guessing yourself. And when do you second guess yourself? And how does that make you feel? And the question I'm wondering right now is, wouldn't it be nice if the world you lived in, you didn't question yourself? You just followed what felt good to you. So, when do you second guess yourself? Think of the times that you do. Maybe it's around making decisions that you have to in your life or in your business. Or maybe you question yourself or second guess yourself when it comes to your ability to do something, whether you can or whether you can't. And it could be that maybe you second guess what's possible for you. You know how you look at other people and what they're doing? I mean, we're bombarded with that with social media, right? We're constantly seeing what other people are doing in their lives, what they're accomplishing, what they've got going on. And sometimes we can get distracted and we can look at ourselves and where we're falling short and start second guessing what we're doing, and it doesn't feel good, right? So there is a time when it's okay to second guess yourself, but for the most part, it's not a good habit to be in. So I'm Nikki Ganjemi, personal trainer for your mind and clinical hypnotherapist, and I love helping people to remove those limiting beliefs that prevent them from achieving the results they want using my shift process. Change happens inside of you, and it can be as simple as 1, 2, brand new. So let's dive more into this topic of second guessing yourself. So, what causes you to second guess yourself? And when I think about this, oftentimes it's what you hear other people say. And that is a source for what can cause you to go from having this inspired idea that at one point completely excited you. And then shortly after, you kind of backpedal and you're like, well, I don't really know if that's a good idea or if it's going to work or if I can do this. And a lot of times, what triggers that is something that you heard, usually from another person. So, I'm going to share a quick story. This happened to me just the other day. I was at a meeting and we were sharing our SMART goals, one SMART goal with the group. So, I share my goal of starting a new group coaching program on Monday, April 4th. And the one person said, Nikki, why April 4th? And I said, well, that's just the date that popped into my mind, and I was inspired to go with that date. And then he said, well, don't expect any accountants in your group. And I guess because it's, tax season. And, I just smiled and didn't think much of it. But later on that night, I found myself second guessing the date that I wanted to start this program. I started thinking, well, when is tax season over? Maybe I should start the program 2 weeks later, after April 15th. And then I questioned myself and I thought, why am I second guessing myself? How many accountants have I worked with so far? I think the number is 0. So it doesn't even make sense to second guess that. And it was just it was a matter of awareness, right? I always tell people the very first thing that we have to have in order to create a change or to move in a different direction is awareness. So because I became aware of that, I decided, you know what? No, the inspiration was a start date of April 4th. That just works better for me. I've got an event coming up in the middle of May that I'm going to be traveling to Atlanta. So it doesn't make sense for me to start the program later. So I share this with you to inspire you to not question yourself at every little turn or every time somebody says something, and actually only second guess yourself if something feels out of alignment right? And what I mean by that is if something feels off or not right for you, then that's an opportunity to maybe question what you're doing and, all aspects of that. But otherwise, go with what first inspired you and what excited you. And you want to pay attention to how you feel, because that's your indicator of whether you're moving in the right direction or something is working for you. That honestly, that is my number one way that I make decisions in my life, from the small decisions of what to make for dinner to the bigger decisions of whether to leave a job and launch into a new career. And that's something I did when I left my teaching job. I was in teaching for 15 years, and it was a big decision to quit and start my business and growing that. And it has never, ever failed me in my life to use my instinct and my gut and what feels right and what feels good. So if you find yourself second guessing yourself for whatever reason, always look at the person looking back at you in the mirror. Look at yourself. What's important to you? What feels right to you? And you will start to learn how to trust your innate wisdom, your inner knowing. And when something feels good and feels aligned, it often ends in the outcome that you want. So that's what I have for you today on when to second guess yourself. And quick recap: only when something feels out of alignment. Otherwise, take action on what feels good. If you want to learn more about topics similar to these, you can visit nikkiganjami.com. And until next time, have a fabulous day.